Namaste, Jai Bharat. When I was in school, the science teacher was teaching internal combustion engine. That was quite fascinating, though I couldn't quite understand how the internal combustion engine can produce so much required power. Then, much later, the science teacher, she was teaching motors, electric motors. And then I was thinking, not only me, many must have thought like me, I'm sure, why can't we fit these motors into motorcycles? Then the same question. See, we have a right to ask questions in the classrooms, and I say understand. Classroom is a place where you can expose your ignorance and unknowledge, so that there is a teacher who would correct you. So classroom, as I understand, is the safest place to expose your unknowing ignorance. So I remember I asked the teacher, "Ma'am, why can't we put motors into the motorcycles so that you need spend money on this fossil fuels, etc." Then she smiled and said, "See, with a motor, the required amount of power doesn't come. There are other complications from what will be the source of electric supply to the motors, etc." She was telling. Partially we understand, partially we still remain confused. And this, of course, was a small incident in the schools, and after the class and after some time we quite forget it, because it's something which is not possible as we understand. Now, much later, these electric vehicles used to come. Electric vehicles are now running on the roads. Electric vehicles. They have the technologies of batteries which can last for like 500 kilometers, 600 kilometers, something like that. Long distance you can go with this electric vehicles with the cadmium batteries of the latest time. And that's a common thing now. There are many electric vehicles on the road. Tesla, of course, is one of the best, I think, in the world. And Elon Musk is the master. Undoubtedly is the master of all these things. Don't forget that he just brought Sunitha Williams back. Where no one could do it, he could do it. He did what he said. That's not a common thing always. So we have these EVs, electric vehicles running, but two-wheelers and four-wheelers running around. Now, there's another doubt that used to come to our minds of late, that if there can be electric vehicles, if there can be electric trains, why can't there be electric passenger airliners? Now, then again, the complicated questions comes, the amount of energy, power required to carry, with the kind of speed required. Those things don't fit in, we assume. I asked Norman this question, but they assumed maybe not possible. But suddenly, Tesla seems to have completed the prototype of an electric airliner. It's not a small aircraft, it's an airliner which should carry 300 passengers or something like that, or at least 200 passengers. Or maybe small that S-12 Bombardier, like carriers, which should carry at least 150 or so many passengers. It's a large aircraft. Now, it seems the news says that the prototype is already cleared, and of course, it doesn't need a long runway. It would need a base to hover and land and take off. They have vertical landing and taking off. That, of course, is a different technology which we already have with the fighter aircrafts. The Air Forces used to have this fighter aircrafts, which don't need a runway, which can just lift off vertically. Now they have that by turning the jet engines upside down, etc. They take off, and they also land. They hover and land. So that's nothing new. But in this thing can take off. But a passenger aircraft taking off vertically, needs a lot of dust. So, but that is possible. They generate it. I don't know how possible it is, but they do generate. Tesla has a prototype. This is going to create revolution in the travel. And then they say the speed is much about 2 Mach or something. 1 Mach is the speed of sound. Something like 2 Mach, that's what if what head is right, it's something like 2 Mach. So there's going to be a great revolution. The fossil fuel may be not required anymore. So maybe in coming time, we may do away with all these aircraft with fossil engines and this electric Tesla of course is the company's name. Tesla airliners, passenger carriers could be functioning, and if this comes true, if it happens, that is going to be a major shift. That's going to be a major change, major revolution in aviation history, and probably flight tickets also should fall quite cheap and faster. And we do not know other intricacies, how endurance and etc. It has longer endurances. That's what the refilling is not necessary, etc. So they must be doing something which can make it more feasible than fossil fuels. This is a very promising thought, and this Elon Musk man is something. He's a kind of wizard, it seems. Wizard or what? He creates such things which people used to fantasize in childhood. I used to fantasize a lot of such things in my childhood, especially after the same classes that she teaches. I used to fantasize a lot of things. Some of the teachers are very innovative. They put new ideas into the minds of children, and that time it really works. And we get ideas and we just fantasize. And this man is making the fantasies reality. So I don't know. One should thank him for such innovative ideas. And he must say, he is a youngster. He's not very senior in age, as it appears. As it appears to me, he's not very old. He's very young, and he has a long innings to play. He can create such wonders. Tesla aircraft is a matter of amusement than surprise. It's just beyond surprise in any case. That's the impossible is made possible. Of course, he had already made the impossible possible some time back, but by bringing back Sunita Williams. And Sunita Williams is from Gujarat. She's from Mehsana district. Basically, her father is from there. Now, of course, she's a US citizen, born and brought up there, but her roots are in Gujarat. So, when Prime Minister Modi ji, when he was Chief Minister of Gujarat, she had welcomed her and must have met and interacted in Gandhinagar, our capital. So, this Elon Musk is going to be wizard. What is he called? Mandrake the magician? He is something like that. Anyway, that man is a promise to the world. We shall meet again with some other thoughts. Till then, Namaste, Jai Bharat and Jai Shri Ram.